Good afternoon, beautiful peoples. Back with another little segment here on some music. So a couple days ago, I posted one about Joey Badass, his new songs, and everything in between that, all the freestyles that came out and all that. And that competitive nature in hip hop is only one aspect of hip hop that I love. So first and foremost, before any of the chippiness and all of that, I want quality music. That's always going to be the focus. And so I want to make sure that on my page that it's not going to just be another white guy that comes on here to only talk about, the rappers going after each other like this, because that's, as fun and entertaining as that is, that's only one aspect of it. And quality music is really what I'm about. And I want to make sure on my page that I highlight people that are important to me in the music world that I don't think that the media is doing a good job representing them. That's honestly what the biggest thing I wanted to do with this page is be able, no matter how big or small I get, mind you, is be able to voice different artists that I don't think get representation on mainstream media. I think the media could be doing a way better job right now. I don't know why they have to stick to only discussing the Drakes and the Beyoncés and the largest names of our music world when there's so many deserving artists out there. So that's what I'm here to do today. So I'm also, being that I'm a white guy that loves rap music and really studies it and does the homework on it, I'm also pretty hard on white rappers. And I think that's because I don't want them to bastardize something that I love. So unless you're bringing something and adding something, I don't see the point in it. So if you're just going to bring like empty consumerism or more capitalistic ideas, it's really not for me. And I feel like you're a fraud if you're doing that as a white guy in hip hop. So I think you have to go the extra mile, honestly, because it's a black art form. And if you're trying to dip your toes into it, I feel like you need to contribute something positive to it and something that pushes the craft forward. And which I guess is a kind of a no pun intended here, because I'm talking about Marlon Craft today. Marlon Craft is a white rapper, but that is definitely not what defines him at all. Marlon Craft, it was born in 1993 in Hell's Kitchen, New York. And I wanted to spotlight him today because I don't see enough people talking about how awesome of a job he's been doing. Yeah, like I said, he's from Hell's Kitchen, New York, and art was kind of always in his DNA because he comes from a father who was a jazz drummer, and his mother was a producer of Broadway plays. So it was kind of, almost destined for him to be in the art world in a sense. And, he went to college for a little bit, but after that, he came out of college and started taking his music seriously and put out his first mixtape in 2016 called Pieces. He kept dropping mixtapes after that and doing freestyles, and eventually opened up for Dizzy Wright on tour in 2018. After that, he would land a placement on a Master Ace album. And I feel like the reason I wanted to highlight him the most on his ascension up is because he did it in the way that I find respectable. He did it by going to the sways, doing 5 Fingers of Death freestyles, doing things that are true to him. He's very New York. His sound is very New York, and he touches on a lot of topics that aren't being talked about a lot. He has this song called Gang Shit that is really deep and goes through 3 different stories. It goes through a cop being raised knowing that that's his shit, a Klansman, and then finally a black man incarcerated. And the only difference between the 3, well, actually, I don't want to ruin the story. It's really well thought out and done well. Go look up Gang Shit. But then there's also other examples of things he's done like this, where he did State of the Union Part 1 and Part 2, where he was addressing some really deep and topical stuff that's going on in our country. And things that he does like that is what brought me to making this video today. Because just yesterday, it was just yesterday or the day before that, it was right after the inauguration, he dropped a song called Inauguration, kind of discussing his feelings on it. And the production is beautiful, his words are beautiful, and I just think that it's really awesome that he is not just doing the same shit that you see all over the radio and all over TV and social media. He's actually putting a lot of effort into the words that are being said. And that's, if you've watched any of these segments I've done before, messaging to me is huge, especially in the hip hop world where lyricism and rapping skill is like the name of the game. So if you're not going to offer something that's got a little bit of a deeper meaning, I don't really have any value for it. And I mean, there's plenty of artists that do the party music, and all that stuff is great too, but I like a little bit something more from artists, and that's what Marlon continues to give us. He's got that song out from last year with Method Man that's crazy, Muggsy Bogues, where they both go nuts. He goes crazy on it, but Method Man also goes crazy on it to say that he is definitely still here. But yeah, Marlon Craft, Hell's Kitchen, New York, look out for him. Inauguration song is really dope, and I hope more people talk to it or talk about it. I hope to hear the reactor community come out and start talking about it, because I haven't seen any reactions to it. I've seen a few here and there for some of his older songs, but I haven't seen any on the most recent stuff. So I'm a big fan of Marlon. I'm going to keep doing these artist highlights. I've got one coming for, well, I don't want to give it away, but I got some more of these coming, more shorter form stuff, but just people that I think are deserving of a spotlight, no matter how big or small my platform is. So that's what I had for you today. I hope to catch you guys back here soon. Peace.